Good morning students, myself Satyen Kalburgi. So we have prepared PPT videos in the last classes. Now in this classes pre-recorded video. So last class we have discussed filtration. In this class we are going to discuss about preparation of pure common salt from a impure sample of a common salt. So by impure common salt we are going to prepare a pure common salt. So in this to prepare this common salt, we have 5 steps. So first step is that we have to collect the impure common salt in a beaker. So in the first step, we are going to collecting the impure common salt in a beaker. So that impure salt is dissolved in water. So that is the second solution. So that solution becomes impure solution or the solution. When we dissolve the impure common salt in water, so that becomes an impure salt solution. So we know that to separate the impure particles from the pure particles, we have discussed the filtration in the last class. So by the method of filtration, we are going to separating the impurities and filtrate. So filtrate is what? Whatever may be the after filtration, whatever may be the pure liquid that we get in beaker is called filtrate. Whatever the unwanted or the sand particles that we are going to collect in a mostly cloth or else filter paper, that is called as impurities, right? So next step is, so what we have got the filtrate, so that we are going to heat with the help of burner to get a pure common salt. So when we are heating the solution, that is known as evaporation. That evaporation also we have discussed in the last class, right? The separation of particles by the method of heating is called evaporation. So evaporation, so the whatever will be the filter we got, so that we are heating with the help of burner, then we will get the pure common salt. So that pure common salt is used for the cooking for our houses. So this is the method for the preparation of pure common salt from an impure sample of a salt. So next thing is water as a solvent and solubility. So water as a solvent and solubility. So here water can dissolve many kinds of substances. So water can dissolve many kinds of substances. That's why water is called as a universal solvent. So it can dissolve all the substances or it can hold it. That's why it is called as a universal solvent. There are however many substances which does not dissolve in water. So some of the substances are there in the universe, so that will not dissolve in water. That is sand and mud, that these substances will not dissolve in water. That's why some of the substances are there in universe, those will not dissolve in water. The substance which dissolve in water are called as soluble substances or soluble in water. Whatever may be the substance which dissolve in water, that is sugar and salt. These two are the substances and many other substances are there that will dissolve or that will mix equally in the water. That's why it is called as soluble in water. That the sugar and salt are soluble in water, and those which does not dissolve in water. So these substances which does not dissolve in water, those are called as insoluble in water or else insoluble substances. So example, sand and mud. These are the substances which will not dissolve in water. So when we pour a sand and mud in water, what happens? The sand and mud particles will get settled down. That is called as sedimentation. Last class we have discussed about that also, sedimentation, the process of settling down of impurities in the bottom of a beaker or else the container, that is known as sedimentation. A liquid substance that dissolves in water completely in all proportion is called miscible substance, or the substances which are the liquid which dissolves in water completely. So there is no impurities in the water. That's why those liquid are called as miscible liquids. So examples, alcohol is a miscible liquid. When we pour water in alcohol, it will equally distribute in water. That's why the alcohol is a miscible liquid. Next thing, a liquid which does not dissolve in water and forms a separate layer on the water is called immiscible liquid or immiscible substances. The liquid which does not dissolve in water and it forms a layer on the water, so that those liquids are called as immiscible liquids. Example, petrol and oil. So when rain comes, you will see that the petrol will fall down on water, that will spread over water. So this is an immiscible liquid. So that's why the petrol will not dissolve in water. So that is an example for immiscible liquid. Can water dissolve any amount of substance? No, it has certain limit. Water also has certain limits. Up to that limit only it dissolves the substances. So water dissolve a wide variety of substance in it. We know that water can dissolve many varieties of substance in it. So the question is that it can dissolve any amount of substance. No, it cannot dissolve any amount of substance. It has a limit. Up to that limit only it will dissolve. The limiting amount of any substance that water can dissolve is described by the term solubility. So the limiting amount of water, the dissolving in that liquid, is called as solubility of that water. So solubility. Next, the different substances dissolve in different extent in water or in any other solvent at a given temperature. So here different substances can be dissolved in different extent of water. So it means we are going to take 1 liter or else 2 liter. You may take 10 liters of water. That depends on the temperature. How much temperature we are going to give and how much amount of the solid is going to dissolve in it. For example, sugar dissolved in water more than the common salt. So sugar can dissolve more than the common salt. The extent of solution of any substance is described by the term solubility. Now only I told that solubility. So solubility is the maximum mass of a solute that can dissolve in 100 gram of the solvent at any specified temperature is called its solubility. The maximum mass of a solute that can be dissolved in 100 grams of solvent. So solute is water, solvent is water. We have discussed in the last class. Solvent are those which are going to dissolve in it. Solute are those which are going to add in this solvent. Right? So the maximum mass of a solute that can be dissolved in 100 gram of solvent at any specified temperature. At any specified temperature is called the solubility. Solubility of a solute generally increases with the rising temperature. As we increase the temperature of that solute, then the solubility of that solvent increases. So it depends on the temperature, right? So next thing is separation by using more than one method. So this is we are using to separate a mixture from by the method of more than one method. Before that we have discussed only one method, that is filtration, sedimentation or else decantation. So by using all these methods, we are going to separate the substance by using more than one method. So to do this activity we require the mixture of sugar and sand solution. So to do this activity we require sugar and sand solution, that is dissolved in water. Right? So here left side you see that. So by the process of sedimentation or decantation, so whatever may be the heavy particles that settle down, right? We have discussed about the sedimentation. This is the method of settling down of heavier particles at the bottom of the beaker is called sedimentation. So here sand particles are heavy particles that will settle down. So in the left side. In the right side, the supernatant of a solution. So whatever may be the solution, sugar solution is there, that is used here. Right? So that solution is taken to the filtration. That solution is taken to the filtration. So we have discussed about the filtration. So filtration is the method of separation of the solution from the solvent. So by the filtration, we are going to separate the filtrate and residue or impurities. Right? So that impurities we will get in the filter paper, and the filtrate we are going to get in where? In the beaker, the pure form of a solution. That is called filtrate. Whatever may be the impurities present in there after doing the filtration, so that is called as residue. So that residue and the settled down particles are transferred to the one beaker and dry it. So we will get a dry sand. So that residue and the settled down particles, so that we are going to take it in a beaker, then we make it for dry. So we left it for dry, so that after some time the dry sand we will get. So first thing we got the sand from the solution, dry sand. So next thing here, filtration. So when we get the filtrate, so that filtrate is heated. So that to get a sugar, that filtrate we are going to heat by the method of evaporation, right? That filtrate we are going to heat with the help of burner. So that method is called as evaporation. So at certain point, all the water present in that filtrate get evaporate and this sugar left in the beaker. So this is the method to separate the mixture of sugar and sand solution by using the more than one method. So here we are using water, here we are using water, sedimentation and decantation, here we are using filtration. So we have used more than one method to separate the mixture, right? Next thing is solubility of gases in water. Solubility of gases in water. So gases can dissolve in water small extent. So gases can be dissolved in water in a very small extent only, not more, as we have dissolved the solid solutions in liquid solution, more action. So here gases will dissolve a very small extent in water. All aerated drinks contains dissolved carbon dioxide. So aerated drinks means cool drinks. Whatever we have, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or else Sprite, whatever you are having. So that contains a dissolved carbon dioxide in it. That is an aerated gas. The aquatic plants uses the dissolved carbon dioxide to make their own food by the process of photosynthesis. So you know that photosynthesis is what? The preparation of own food by the help of sunlight and carbon dioxide. This happens in plants. So the aquatic plants, whatever will be the plants present in a water, so that takes a dissolved carbon dioxide from the liquid for the preparation of their own food by the process of photosynthesis. The oxygen dissolved in water is taken up by the fishes. So whatever may be the oxygen is there in water, that is taken up by the fishes present in the water. So we know that water chemical formula is H2O, right? So here oxygen is there. This oxygen is taken up by the fishes by the special organs in there, that is gills. With the help of gills, the fishes will take the oxygen. Okay, the solubility of gases in water decreases with rising temperature. So the solubility of gases in water decreases. So the solubility of impurities in a liquid increases with increasing temperature, that we have learned in a solid liquid mixture. But here in solid gas liquid gas mixture, the solubility decreases with the increasing temperature. Okay guys, this is all about this class. Thank you. Have a nice day.